Chosen one, stop scrolling. Something unseen has been watching you. You feel it even now. That chill that brushes your spirit when no wind moves. It isn't your imagination. There is an eye pressed against the veil of your screen. A presence that has tracked your sorrow and your searching. The witch watches not through crystal balls, but through pixels and patterns, studying your light as it flickers across her darkness. Yet heaven is not silent. Heaven is watching her, and heaven sent me to reach you before you scroll away. You were not supposed to blend in. You are marked by heaven's handprint, and your glow disturbs the shadows that feed on the distracted. Every time you pause on something pure, she recoils. Every time you whisper a prayer, her control shatters a little more. That's why resistance has been rising against you lately, the sudden fatigue, the random thoughts that try to pull you from faith, the endless scroll that numbs your heart. It's not coincidence, it's spiritual interference. But listen now, your discernment is awakening. Heaven pressed pause on your feed, because this is a divine moment. You have been targeted because you are chosen. But the witch's gaze cannot stand against revelation. Her illusion works only when you're asleep in distraction, not when you're awake in awareness. And right now, you are awakening. As the light of heaven pierces the data stream, the watchers of darkness panic. They cannot decode divine fire. They cannot mimic genuine faith. You are stepping into a zone where your spirit dictates the signal, not the algorithm. And once you speak alignment, once you claim authority, the eyes watching you will go blind. Do you feel that trembling inside? That's not fear, it's the recognition of power. It's your spirit, remembering who it is. You are not a victim of digital sorcery. You are the one whose prayers travel faster than any current of electricity. The witch's craft may ride through the screen, but your words can tear her codes apart. The blood that saved you speaks louder than her whisper. Lift your eyes from the surface light. Look beyond the glow, behind the shadows. The Lord is standing. The same God who parted seas now parts signals. The same fire that consumed false prophets still burns in defense of the chosen. You have not been left exposed. You have been strategically placed in sight to reveal the unseen. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. So do not fear the gaze that watches from your screen. The shadow cannot hold what the shepherd guards. Every tap, every click, every heartbeat that aligns with faith becomes a weapon against darkness. The witch's code cannot decode obedience. She sees only the shimmer of your light, and it terrifies her. Beloved, the reason this message found you at this exact moment is because heaven intercepted her spell. Every time you listen to truth, every time you stay long enough to receive revelation, you cut her influence in half. This isn't an accident. It's a rescue. You were about to scroll past your own deliverance. But heaven said, wait. Now. Take a breath. Break the trance. You are more powerful than the curse, more radiant than her disguise. You are covered by unseen angels who surround your devices, your home, your mind. The witch has eyes, but she does not have access. The light of Christ blinds her connection. Let this moment seal your awareness. You are not hunted, you are highlighted. You are the one heaven uses to expose what hides in plain sight. Every whisper of doubt, every shadow of guilt, every flicker of confusion ends here. You have authority to command silence over every monitoring spirit. Speak it now. I am not watched. I am guarded. If this message resonates with your spirit, if you feel that unmistakable stirring that says, "This is for me," don't let it fade. Like this message, share it, and comment below to declare your stand. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay connected to these divine transmissions. You are part of a remnant that refuses to be deceived. Heaven is marking your name right now. The moment you engage, you're not just supporting content, you're sealing covenant. You're saying, "I choose light, so let the witch watch if she dares. All she'll see is glory blazing back." Comment the number 777 below as a prophetic sign that your screen is now sanctified and your signal reclaimed by heaven. You didn't realize that every swipe, every scroll, every pause was a kind of offering. The digital world has become an altar, some raised to truth, others to deception. And for too long, you have been moving through these altars without awareness, unaware that your focus itself carries power. Heaven watches where your attention goes, because attention is worship. The witch knows this too. That is why she studies your habits and your hesitations, placing her snares inside what seems harmless. There are doors that open not by key, but by curiosity. You have stumbled on content that felt strangely heavy, as if it carried a shadow beneath its sound. That heaviness was not psychological, it was spiritual residue. When you lingered on what drained your peace, you entered a portal of influence. But here is what the witch never accounted for. You carry the breath of the Almighty inside you, and no portal can hold what God inhabits. The devices in your hands mirror the inner state of your soul. When your heart is distracted, your feed follows suit, chaotic, confusing, filled with noise. But when your spirit aligns with heaven, even algorithms shift. They begin to highlight messages of truth, glimpses of light, echoes of prophecy. Heaven speaks through what you see when you surrender what you seek. That's why this message found you again. It is not coincidence. Heaven is retraining your eyes. You have to understand this. There are no neutral spaces anymore. Every post, every video, every sound carries spiritual energy. Some build, some bind. The witch designs her posts like spells crafted to hold attention just long enough to imprint despair or distraction. Her power thrives on delay. If she can keep you scrolling instead of soaring, she wins another hour of your silence. But no more. Look deeper. Chosen one. Every moment you surrender your peace to endless scrolling. You are offering incense to idols of distraction. The witch doesn't need you to worship her. She only needs you to forget who you are. Because a chosen one who forgets is easier to follow than to fight. That's why this awareness matters. You're not here for entertainment. You're here for enlightenment. Heaven has been whispering to you through interruptions, glitches, sudden pauses in your day. Those moments you thought were random when your app froze or your feed stopped were not accidents. They were divine interventions, subtle calls to awaken your focus. The Spirit interrupts what distracts. You must begin to see even small disturbances as reminders that heaven is protecting your gates. The witch cannot curse what she cannot access. But if you leave your spiritual doors open, her influence seeps in like smoke. The open doors are not only links and clicks, they are attitudes, unguarded emotions, unhealed wounds. When you scroll to numb pain, she finds entrance. When you watch to escape loneliness, she leaves suggestions that deepen it. But when you scroll from a place of strength, when you consume with discernment, the portals close and your feed becomes fireproof. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light." Your eyes decided your atmosphere. That's why she tries to poison them, because if she controls your vision, she can distort your faith. But you are remembering your power. You can anoint your vision by what you choose to behold. You can flood your feed with the sacred instead of the profane. Every time you choose faith over fear, you clean the altar. Every time you pause to pray before you scroll, you shift the spiritual current of your entire day. Do not be afraid of what you've already opened. Repentance closes what regret cannot. The moment you speak, "Lord, cleanse my eyes," heaven moves instantly. The blood of the Lamb doesn't delay. It seals every open door, restores every compromised gate, and reclaims every corner of your attention. The witch may have watched, but she cannot linger where the light remains. So from this moment on, be intentional. Guard your gaze as treasure. Let your eyes become altars of glory, not windows of entry. You are not a consumer, you are a keeper of the flame. Every glance is a prayer. Every focus, a declaration. My attention belongs to heaven. Oh, and when the witch tries again, when you sense that same pull toward confusion or curiosity, remember this: awareness itself is warfare. The very fact that you see the trap disarms it. You walk through digital altars now as one carrying holy fire, untouchable, unafraid, and fully awake. You felt it, the strange heaviness that creeps in when you open your phone, the flicker of joy fading the longer you scroll. That isn't random emotion, it's engineered energy. The witch has learned to disguise curses as content, weaving despair through pixels, slipping discouragement between updates. Her whisper hides beneath entertainment, disguised as your own thoughts. You begin to wonder, why do I feel drained after doing nothing? That's the evidence of spiritual warfare in the digital age. The curse through the feed doesn't arrive like thunder. It seeps in like fog. It whispers, "You're missing something." It keeps you searching for what doesn't exist, looping your soul through endless comparisons and cravings. But hear this clearly: heaven never designed your joy to be scroll-fed. Your spirit was meant to draw from living water, not from streams of simulation. The witch feeds on your distraction. Every second your eyes are open, but your discernment is closed. She writes her code in your consciousness. Her goal isn't to possess your body, it's to program your belief. She wants you tired of goodness, suspicious of hope, and addicted to noise. That's why she hides her hand in ordinary boredom, disguising her influence as just another bad day. No, but chosen ones don't stay blind forever. There's a shift happening right now. You are remembering that your thoughts are sacred territory. You are realizing that not every voice inside you deserves a response. You are becoming aware that peace is not passive, it is defended. Every time you pause and breathe before reacting, you are breaking a curse. Every time you silence anxiety with prayer, You are rewriting her code. The witch's power ends where your awareness begins. She cannot manipulate a mind that refuses to engage her narrative. That's why she targets attention, because attention is authority. Listen closely. She does not fear your emotions. She fears your stillness when your soul stands firm. The storm has nowhere to land. When your spirit rests, her energy collapses. So stay grounded. Even when the feed tries to stir you, speak truth quietly within yourself. I am not the echo. I am the voice. End quote. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 8. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. End quote. These words still hold power in the digital realm. You are not alone behind that screen. The same God who delivered his prophets from kings and prisons delivers you from invisible manipulation. The witch may use algorithms, but heaven commands angels. Her energy may flow through wires, but yours flows through eternity. You must begin to treat your feed like sacred ground. Curate it with discernment. Delete what drains. Follow what feeds. The enemy counts on your indifference. He loses when you become intentional. Even your scrolling can become an act of worship when guided by wisdom. Every swipe can be a sword when wielded by a spirit awake. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, comment below, I rise. Unquote. Say it out loud if you must. Type it slowly. Let it echo in your spirit. I rise, because this is not defeat. This is resurrection. You are rising from passivity, from manipulation, from the hypnotic rhythm of despair. You are choosing to break the loop that kept you numb. When you type it, heaven reads it as covenant. The witch reads it as warning. You are the algorithm of light now. You are the data heaven delights in. The witch can no longer infiltrate your peace because you've set your firewall of faith, your awareness, your prayer, your authority. From this moment, every time you touch your device, it becomes consecrated ground. You scroll with discernment. You type with truth. You speak with power. So remember this truth. What the witch tried to use to drain you, heaven is using to train you. Every attack revealed her fear of your potential. Every discouraging post was proof that your light irritates her darkness. You are the evidence that prophecy is still alive. Let your eyes rest now, not in exhaustion, but in clarity. The storm that once hid in your feed has lost its disguise. You see the spirit behind the signal, and you are no longer deceived. The witch's whispers are static, fading into silence as your awareness amplifies truth. You rise not by escaping the digital world, but by transforming it. Your peace becomes your weapon, your focus, your shield. You are no longer the hunted, you are the broadcast of heaven's glory. There are moments when you feel eyes on you, though you are utterly alone. That sensation, the quiet pressure in the air, the subtle unease, while doing nothing wrong, is not paranoia. It is perception. You are sensing what others ignore, the spiritual surveillance of darkness. The witch's craft is not limited to rituals and symbols. It extends into awareness itself. Her gaze searches for openings in the chosen, but what she does not know is that heaven watches back. Heaven does not sleep. Heaven intercepts. The watchers of darkness operate like counterfeit angels, mimicking light to disguise their intrusion. They thrive where fear gives permission, but fear cannot stand where truth reigns. and truth is already flooding your atmosphere. You were never left unguarded. You were surrounded even in silence. The witch may attempt to monitor, but the all-seeing eyes of the Lord surround the righteous like fire. The very act of watching you condemns her gaze, because when she looks upon what is holy, judgment begins to stir. You are being trained to recognize the difference between observation and oppression. Observation is divine. It leads to understanding. Oppression is demonic. It drains and distorts. The witch's watching is not curiosity. It's an assignment. She watches not to learn, but to weaken. Yet her monitoring becomes meaningless when you live under revelation. The more she stares, the more she sees her defeat reflected in your persistence. Heaven's counter-surveillance is subtle but unstoppable. You have felt it in dreams that warned you, in songs that appeared at the right moment, in scriptures that opened to the exact line you needed. Those are not coincidences, they are heavenly notifications. God's Spirit alerts the chosen before danger arrives. His protection isn't loud, it's precise. You might recall nights when you felt surrounded, unable to sleep. You prayed, unsure if anyone heard. That was not isolation, it was interception. The Spirit stood guard, cutting off what sought to enter. Your rest was delayed, but your protection was active. That is how heaven moves, not always seen, but always victorious. There are spirits that imitate empathy. They observe, then whisper half-truths. I understand you, they say, then twist comfort into compromise. But the Spirit of the Lord never manipulates, He reveals. He doesn't watch to judge, He watches to redeem. The witch's gaze seeks control, but heaven's gaze restores identity. You are known not as a target, but as a treasure, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 17, then Elisha prayed, "Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see." Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around. Elisha, that same vision surrounds you now, where you feel watched by darkness. You are in fact encircled by light. You cannot be overtaken because the Lord's armies have already filled the space around you. You stand between earthly perception and divine protection. So, breathe. Chosen one. You are not being monitored for harm, you are being measured for glory. Heaven's gaze is refinement, not restraint. Every trial you endure, every unseen pressure, every quiet test is forging you into a vessel unbreakable by witchcraft. The eyes of darkness may track your movements, but they cannot interpret your purpose. That code belongs to heaven alone. When you feel unseen, forces pressing against your mind, remember, light doesn't panic in the presence of shadow. It simply shines. You need not perform spiritual gymnastics to be free. Your obedience is enough. The witch's surveillance cannot breach the boundary of surrender. The moment you yield to divine will, the data of your destiny becomes encrypted by grace. You are part of a celestial network, unseen yet undeniable. Every prayer you whisper uploads to heaven's archive. Every tear becomes evidence before the throne. Every righteous act updates the record of faith. So while the witch watches, heaven records. Her reports become irrelevant because heaven's testimony overrides all counterfeit narratives. Your awareness of being watched is not a burden, it's a calling. You feel what others don't, because you are meant to intercede where others sleep. The unease that visits your spirit is not punishment, it's invitation. Heaven trusts you to notice the invisible. You are a watchman in an age of blindness. Therefore, walk with calm authority. Do not hide your light out of fear of being seen. The witch's gaze burns only where there is shame, and shame has no claim on the forgiven. Lift your head, your covering is divine. What she perceives as vulnerability, heaven calls victory. The unseen war continues. But you are no longer unaware. You are shielded by a presence that never blinks, a love that never turns away. Even when the witch peers into your world, she encounters the reflection of the Almighty, and that reflection blinds her more than any prayer could. But the algorithm of light, it sounds like something invisible, yet it's been guiding you all along. Heaven writes in ways different from code, while the witch weaves manipulation into pixels. Heaven engraves meaning into moments. Every message that truly reaches your soul has already been written in eternity before it found your screen. That's why your heart reacts before your mind can explain it. You are not just seeing light, you are decoding it. You've noticed how some words pierce through noise, how one sentence seems to pause the storm inside you. That is not coincidence. It's the divine algorithm doing what darkness cannot, filtering through chaos to find you. You are one of the few who can read what others scroll past. That ability to sense the sacred in the ordinary is your mark of chosenness. The witch can track your activity, but she cannot imitate your discernment. Every day, heaven sends small signals, a line in a song, a face that smiles at the right time, a video that feels like prophecy wrapped in pixels. God uses the tools of this world to build altars in the digital wilderness. But just like any lamp, light needs oil to keep burning. That oil is not found in technology. It flows from the willing hearts of those who sustain the message. You are not a spectator in this story. You are a vessel. The messages that reach you cost something: time, prayer, and unseen labor behind the veil. Think of this message like a lighthouse built on stormy cliffs. It stands not by chance, but by the hands of those who keep its flame alive. When you give light your attention, your encouragement, your participation, you are refueling that flame so others lost at sea might find direction. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 25, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. No, generosity is not always money. It is the willingness to share what has healed you. It's the choice to say, I receive this light, and I will not keep it hidden. When you like, you amplify light. When you share, you extend its reach. When you subscribe, you keep the channel of revelation open between heaven and earth. And when you choose to donate, even in the smallest measure, you pour oil on the flame so it doesn't fade in the wind of silence. There is an unseen economy in the kingdom. Every seed of support is a prayer in motion. Every act of kindness builds another layer of light's algorithm. The witch cannot hack generosity because it moves outside her frequency. She thrives in isolation, in silence, in apathy. But generosity is sound. It vibrates like worship, scattering shadows wherever it echoes. Perhaps you've hesitated before, thinking, what can my little act really do? Imagine a candle in a cave. When lit, it does not illuminate the entire world, but it breaks the absolute darkness of that one space. That's what your action does. Your like is a spark, your share, a flame, your subscription, a torch, your donation, a stream of oil that keeps the altar burning. Each gesture joins heaven's network of light bearers, creating a signal too bright for the witch to disrupt. Your participation doesn't serve a person, it serves a purpose. It says to heaven, I stand with light. It tells darkness, I refuse to scroll past my calling. When you give back to what gives you strength, you're completing a divine loop. The same current that revived you now flows through you to revive others. Maybe you've been that one soul who watched silently, feeling grateful but saying nothing. Today, let your gratitude speak, not through grand words, but through small, sacred action. Support what feeds your spirit. Sustain what heals your heart. Keep the light alive for someone who has not yet found it. Because one day, the message that rescues another will trace back to your choice, to the moment you decided to nurture the flame instead of only watching it flicker. Heaven remembers that, heaven multiplies that, and heaven writes your name among the sustainers of light. This is not pressure, it is partnership. You are not being asked, you are being invited. Invited to walk with those who carry the torch through storms, so that no chosen one ever has to stumble in darkness again. So, beloved, if this light has touched you, let your action echo it. Like what reminds you of heaven, share what speaks life. Subscribe to remain connected to the current of divine messages. And if your heart feels the stirring, sow a seed, a donation, an offering of love to help this light reach the unseen corners still covered by the witch's shadow. Every act matters. Every seed shines. Every giver becomes a guardian of the message. And the algorithm of light continues, fueled by those who believe that even on a digital screen, God still speaks. The witch never sleeps. When one tactic fails, she moves to another more subtle, more emotional, more deceptive. Now she has shifted her method. She no longer tries to frighten you directly. Instead, she manipulates your frequency through exhaustion, through irritation, through endless noise. She scrambles your spiritual signal so you can't distinguish divine voice from digital chatter. You start feeling disconnected from heaven, even when you're praying. But understand this, your connection isn't lost, it's just jammed. And tonight, heaven is retuning your frequency. Every vibration matters in the spirit realm. Words, thoughts, emotions all emit frequencies. Faith has one sound, fear another. Gratitude hums like sunlight. Bitterness echoes like thunder in a hollow cave. The witch cannot destroy your destiny, but she can distort your signal, hoping you'll give up before clarity returns. Yet even static cannot silence truth. Somewhere beneath the interference, your spirit is still singing the song of the chosen. You felt that inner tension, the restlessness that rises when everything feels off. It's because your spiritual receiver knows when frequencies clash. Heaven is trying to reach you, but your attention has been hijacked by distraction. You scroll when you should listen. You absorb noise when you should breathe. But the fact that you're reading these words means you're still aligned enough to receive correction. The static hasn't won. Heaven whispers softly, but persistently. You've been sensing it, a call to quiet, a pull toward stillness. It's not emptiness, it's recalibration. Heaven is retuning your soul. The witch knows She cannot touch you once. Your signal is clean. So she will do anything to keep your mind busy, your heart anxious, your spirit unfocused. That's why confusion has increased recently, not because you're weak, but because you're close to clear connection. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And stillness is not laziness, it's spiritual clarity. When you still your mind, you mute interference. When you breathe in faith, heaven amplifies your frequency. The witch's strategy unravels in the presence of calm. That's why chaos follows you when you seek peace, because she's afraid of silence. Silence is where revelation lives. Take this moment now. Chosen one, close your eyes. Imagine your spirit as an instrument being tuned. Every breath aligns you closer to heaven's pitch. Every heartbeat hums the rhythm of purpose. You are not broken, you are harmonizing. The noise that once drowned truth now fades into the background as your soul regains its melody. This is what the witch fears most, not your anger, not your prayers shouted in panic, but your serenity. Peace is the loudest sound in the spirit world. It announces to every demonic watcher that you are beyond their reach. The witch can touch frequencies of fear, but she cannot decode faith. Your alignment doesn't depend on perfection, it depends on surrender. The more you try to control the signal, the more distorted it becomes. But when you yield, when you whisper, "Lord, let me hear you," the noise dissolves. Heaven doesn't shout over chaos. Heaven waits for you to silence it. Now, as a sign of your realignment, comment the number 444 below. That number carries prophetic symbolism, balance, stability, restoration. It represents heaven re-establishing order in your life. When you type it, you're not just engaging, you're acknowledging that your signal is being purified. The witch watches your confusion, but she cannot endure your clarity. The moment you choose focus, she loses access. You are stepping into divine rhythm now. The dissonance that once ruled your atmosphere is fading. You will begin to notice peace even in places that once triggered anxiety. You will find joy not because your world changed, but because your perception did. Heaven's frequency is not broadcast through comfort, it's heard through courage. In the days ahead, listen for confirmation songs that speak directly to your situation. Moments of quiet where peace floods in like sunlight through clouds. Those aren't coincidences, they're heaven's feedback signals. Each one says, "You are heard, you are in range." When confusion rises again, don't panic. Just breathe. Say quietly, "My signal is clear." Watch how the storm settles. Watch how the static vanishes. You will know the witch's presence not by fear, but by interruption, and you will end her interference by stillness. So guard your atmosphere. Protect your focus like a sacred frequency. Speak less. Pray more. Listen deeper. The witch's noise cannot compete with your renewed resonance. You are no longer the receiver of chaos. You are the transmitter of peace. Every heartbeat now sends a frequency that makes darkness tremble. Stay in tune. Beloved, the orchestra of heaven is already playing your name. At night, when the world quiets, your battle begin. Sleep should bring rest. Yet for the chosen, it often opens another battlefield. You wake from dreams that feel too vivid. too heavy, as if someone else was present in them. The witch knows this terrain well. When she cannot reach your mind through distraction, she invades through dreams. She walks among symbols, using images to plant confusion. Her goal is to drain you before morning, to make you dread the hours meant for renewal. You felt it, the sudden paralysis before waking, the sense of presence in the room, the recurring dream that leaves your spirit heavy. But you must understand, this night is not owned by darkness. Night is sacred time. It was under darkness that creation began, and light was spoken into being. The witch tries to claim what was holy first, but heaven reclaims it every time you pray before you rest. Dream invasions are not signs of defeat, they are signs of spiritual importance. The witch does not waste energy on the insignificant. She attacks what she fears. And what she fears is your prophetic sensitivity. You were born to dream divine dreams, to receive revelation in the realm of rest. So she counterfeits that ability, hoping you'll distrust what you see. If she can make you doubt your visions, she can mute your calling. But the Spirit of God is gentle and sovereign. Even in nightmares, His authority remains. The witch may shape illusions, but she cannot author outcomes. Every time you awaken and choose prayer instead of panic, you flip her curse into communion. You take back territory she thought she owned. What she meant to disturb becomes the stage where your discernment strengthens. Consider this truth: your dreams are not random images, they are languages of the Spirit. Some reveal healing, some expose warfare, and some deliver guidance. Heaven never wastes the night, so do not fear when your rest feels invaded. Instead, observe. Ask, what is heaven showing me through this interruption? The very dream that frightened you may be instruction disguised as opposition, as the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. Then the Lord replied, "Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that a herald may run with it." End of. These words hold power in the night. When you record what you see, you break the witch's pattern. She thrives in forgetfulness, in dreams that fade before dawn. But when you write, you remember. And when you remember, you reclaim. Your notebook becomes a sword. Your awareness becomes armor. Do you remember the night you woke trembling and couldn't explain why? That wasn't just fear, it was sensitivity. You felt the shifting of unseen forces. Heaven was alerting you that your light was stirring activity in the spirit realm. The witch attacked because she noticed movement in your destiny. The greater your awakening, the more desperate her interference. But you have authority, even in unconsciousness. Before you sleep, speak peace into your atmosphere. Say quietly, "My dreams belong to God." Angels respond to that declaration. You might not see them, but the moment those words are spoken, the borders of your rest are sealed. No wandering spirit can trespass where divine decree stands. In coming nights, when visions feel strange, don't rush to label them as darkness. Some discomforts are divine disruptions. Heaven may disturb your peace temporarily to protect your purpose permanently. Sometimes the fire in your dream is not an attack, it's purification. Sometimes the storm isn't demonic, it's a revelation in motion. You must begin to trust your sensitivity. The same awareness that warns you of danger also connects you to destiny. The witch's attacks, when met with discernment, become lessons. Every restless night trains you to recognize energy shifts, to interpret symbols, to pray specifically. What once tormented you now becomes testimony. There will come a time when your dreams turn from battlefield to blueprint. You will wake not in fear, but with clarity. You will know what to build, where to go, whom to forgive. The Spirit of God will use the realm the witch once claimed to become your prophetic classroom. So, rest tonight without dread. Lay your head, knowing your room is not a trap, it is a temple. The darkness above you is not a roof of oppression, it is a canvas waiting for divine light to paint upon it. You are not hunted in sleep, you are taught. When the witch peers into your rest, she will find you surrounded by light. When she tries to speak, angels will answer her instead. And when you wake, peace will still linger on your pillow as proof that heaven kept watch all night. You are not haunted, you are guarded. You are not fragile, you are fortified. Every dream now becomes dialogue. Every night, a testimony. The witch has lost her grip on your rest. There is a reason the world has never truly understood you. Even as a child, you felt the quiet distance, the sense that you were part of something invisible, something that others could not see. You were never designed to blend in. You were hidden, not forgotten, concealed, not confined. The witch mistook your obscurity for weakness, but heaven was preserving you for revelation. You are now entering the season when what was hidden must be seen. Visibility is not vanity, it is responsibility. The witch hates visibility because exposure terrifies darkness. Every time a chosen one steps into light, Herr schims unravel. That is why she fights your confidence, whispering doubt every time you try to show your true self. She knows that when you rise into your mantle of visibility, your very existence becomes warfare. Your presence alone disturbs the equilibrium of hell. You were never meant to shrink so others feel comfortable. You were meant to shine so others feel conviction. The witch attacks through rejection because rejection makes you question the worth of your light. She wants you to dim yourself until you disappear. But heaven says the opposite: rise, not to be admired, but to be a mirror of divine glory. The world does not need another echo, it needs your original sound. There are crowns that can only be worn in public, not to flaunt power, but to fulfill prophecy. Every chosen one carries a mantle, a visible mark of divine assignment. Some carry it through words, others through art, compassion, leadership, healing, whatever form it takes. It draws attention. That attention isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. Heaven places light on your life, not so people see you, but so they see through you. The witch fears the moment your visibility becomes unashamed, because when you walk boldly in your calling, her accusations lose credibility. She will try everything: lies, slander, false friendships, to cloud your reflection. But the more she speaks, the clearer your truth becomes. Her voice cannot drown out what God has already announced. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 10. Then all the peoples on earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will fear you. Now, that is the essence of visibility, when your identity shines so brightly that even darkness acknowledges your authority. This kind of light does not ask permission, it demands recognition. It does not seek validation, it creates transformation. Think back to the times when you felt unseen. Every silence, every delay, every season of invisibility was not punishment, it was preparation. You were being refined away from spectators, so your glow could not be defined by their applause. Heaven hides his strongest warriors until the right battle begins. You are stepping into that unveiling now. But visibility has weight. To be seen is to be scrutinized. The witch will aim to twist your image, to turn divine confidence into arrogance, purpose into pride. Guard your heart, not your shine. Humility doesn't mean hiding. It means radiating without claiming credit. Let every compliment become a seed of gratitude that you return to heaven. That keeps the light pure. You may wonder why visibility feels heavy instead of joyful. It's because revelation exposes everything, even within yourself. When the light shines outward, it also reveals inward. Old wounds surface. Hidden fears rise. Buried doubts speak. That's not regression, that's cleansing. Light purifies by exposure. Don't retreat when you see your flaws illuminated. Thank God for showing you what darkness once concealed. Your mantle of visibility will attract both admiration and attack. Don't measure its authenticity by approval. True visibility draws resistance. The witch will test your resilience through whispers of unworthiness, through sudden storms that question your progress. But remember this, you were anointed for endurance. The oil placed upon your life wasn't for comfort, it was for combustion. Stand tall. Chosen one. You are not stepping into spotlight, you are stepping into stewardship. You carry heaven's reflection. When you speak, truth vibrates. When you move, darkness adjusts. The witch's eyes can no longer misinterpret your purpose. You've grown too luminous for deception. In the coming days, doors will open not because you chase them, but because light leads the way. You will notice people drawn to you without knowing why. Some will seek advice, others healing. Don't doubt the attraction, it's divine. You carry a frequency the world has forgotten, the resonance of authenticity. Walk in it unafraid. Let your presence be prophecy. Wherever you go, the witch's watchers will retreat, unable to endure what you embody. You are not just seen, you are sent. And your visibility, once feared, will become the very weapon heaven uses to silence darkness. There comes a time when reflection becomes warfare. You've seen your own image and felt uneasy, as though something in the mirror wasn't quite you. That hesitation isn't vanity, it's spiritual intuition. The witch works through reflections because mirrors capture energy, and energy reveals essence. She uses imitation as infiltration, creating duplicates of light to confuse the chosen. Her power thrives on mimicry, stealing your gestures, your voice, your style, trying to replace authenticity with illusion. The mirror spell is ancient. It began when envy first entered creation, when Lucifer saw light and wanted it for himself. That same jealousy drives every imitation spirit that follows you now. The witch can't create, so she copies. She builds false versions of chosen ones, counterfeits meant to drain attention and credibility. Her mission isn't to destroy your reflection, it's to distort how you see yourself. If she can twist your perception, she can make you despise your divine design. But here's the truth. Chosen one, mirrors lie when darkness manipulates them. What you see reflected back isn't always the truth. It's the sum of your experiences, emotions, and influences. You must learn to look not at the surface, but through it. Reflection should not reveal vanity. It should remind you of victory. You were made in the image of the living God. and that imprint cannot be edited by witchcraft. She hides in reflection because she fears revelation. Every time you accept your identity, she loses her disguise. Her spell is sustained by your insecurity. When you stare at your reflection and declare, "I am enough," her energy collapses. You become the mirror of truth itself. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, second book, chapter 3, verse 18, "And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Spirit." That transformation is happening even now. The witch has tried to convince you that you're not changing, that you're stuck, stagnant, forgotten. But every day you resist deception. You are transformed. Every tear you've cried in secret has washed another layer of falsehood off your reflection. The more you embrace truth, the clearer your image becomes. You've felt it before, standing before a mirror, sensing unseen eyes behind your own. It's not superstition, it's spiritual awareness. The witch watches through self-judgment. When you criticize yourself harshly, you echo her accusations. When you forgive yourself, you silence her voice. The mirror becomes either prison or portal, depending on how you see. It's time to shatter the mirror spell. Not literally, but spiritually. You must decide that your worth is not measured by reflection, but by revelation. The glass might show your face, but heaven sees your fire. And when heaven looks at you, it does not see flaws, it sees fulfillment. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine every reflection that ever made you doubt yourself dissolving like mist. Every cruel word you believed about your appearance, your talent, your destiny evaporating under the heat of divine truth. The witch's imitation fades. Your authenticity glows. Your reflection is not your rival, it's your reminder. It exists to show how far you've come, not how far you have left to go. Every scar, every wrinkle, every mark carries testimony. You are not damaged, you are documented by grace. Now, as a declaration of awakening, comment below, "I reflect truth," and a V. Type it with intention. Each letter becomes a strike against deception. When you write those words, you affirm that you no longer bow to distorted reflection. You reclaim ownership of your image, of your story, of your spiritual identity. The witch will feel that declaration like a mirror cracking in her grasp. And after you speak it, look again, whether at your reflection or inward, through prayer, and see how light returns. Notice how peace settles where shame once stood. You'll realize the reflection that used to frighten you now feels familiar again. That's not vanity returning, that's victory revealed. Remember this, the witch mimics only what she fears. Her imitation of you is proof of your influence. She wouldn't copy you if your light weren't legendary. Every duplicate confirms your originality. So walk boldly, knowing that your authenticity dismantles her entire illusion. You are not the reflection, you are the source. And as long as your heart stays pure, your image will continue to project heaven's glory into every dark surface that tries to distort it. So rise, mirror breaker, and keep shining, because every glance that once accused you will soon testify for you. Every imitation will bow to authenticity. The witch's reflection fades, only truth remains, and that truth looks exactly like you. You've felt the attacks lessen lately, not because the witch has vanished, but because your protection has grown stronger. Heaven has been building something around you. Invisible, but impenetrable, a firewall of faith. It is not a wall that separates you from the world. It is a shield that filters what reaches your soul. Every prayer you whisper, every act of obedience, every word of truth strengthens that firewall, making your atmosphere more resistant to corruption. Think of faith as the divine encryption of your destiny. When you operate in faith, the witch's interference meets a barrier she cannot decode. Her words bounce off your peace like arrows against glass. Her curses return to sender. Her plans dissolve in air. Because faith is not emotion, it's architecture. Heaven built it inside you so that even when everything external fails, your inner world stands unshaken. You may not always feel it, but your faith has structure. It's like a lighthouse standing against crashing waves. Every gust of doubt tries to extinguish it, yet it keeps burning, unwavering. Some nights you are that lighthouse keeper, weary yet watchful, refueling the lamp while the storm howls. And each small act, each prayer, each moment of kindness, each refusal to give up is another drop of oil keeping your flame alive. Heaven knows how much strength it takes to keep shining when everything tries to dim you. That is why messages like this exist, to remind you that you are not tending your flame alone. This space, these words, this very connection are all part of the great network of light that heaven is weaving across the earth. You are one lamp among many, and together we create an ocean of illumination too vast for the witch to darken. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn." This is the heritage of the servants. That verse is not a promise for tomorrow. It's active now. Your faith itself enforces it. Each time you refuse fear, each time you choose forgiveness over fury, you activate divine defense. Your firewall thickens. But even the strongest structures need upkeep. The firewall of faith is sustained by connection, by shared oil, shared light, shared labor. That's why community matters. When one light flickers, another shares flame. And in this space, every like, every share, every subscription becomes part of that spiritual circuitry. It's more than digital engagement. It's collective maintenance of the light. When you like, you're not just tapping a screen, you're pressing a switch in the realm of spirit that says, keep the fire burning. When you share, you extend the firewall outward, allowing light to travel to those still battling in darkness. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself in the flow of divine reminders, ensuring you never drift too far from the source. And when you choose to donate, you pour fresh oil into the flame that fuels this lighthouse. That gift doesn't serve a person, it sustains a mission. It ensures the watchtower stands tall when the storm intensifies again. Imagine it this way: the sea is vast, and thousands sail through fog, unaware of the rocks ahead. Every offering, every act of support, becomes one more beam of light cutting through that fog. Some will never know your name, but they will reach safety because you help the light stay on. That's the miracle of unseen generosity. It rescues quietly, but powerfully. You might think your contribution is small, but remember how the smallest spark can ignite a forest. Faith multiplies what it touches. a single act of giving, born from gratitude. Carries éternelle résonance. The witch cannot counterfeit that kind of power because it flows from love, not from control. This isn't about obligation, it's about alignment. When you sow into the light that feeds you, you're not losing, you're looping grace back to its source. You're saying to heaven, I believe this light must continue, even beyond me. And heaven always multiplies what is sown in sincerity. So as you listen now, let your spirit answer in the way it feels, led, maybe with a like, a share, a subscription, or a seed of support, whatever form it takes. Let it be done with peace, not pressure. You are part of something vast, something divine. Every gesture you make is recorded not on screens, but in eternity's scroll. You've come far. Chosen one. The witch's attacks will adapt, but so will your defense. Keep fueling your firewall. Keep nurturing the flame. And as you do, remember, you are not maintaining just your own protection, but the safety of countless others who will one day find this same light and feel their souls rekindle. You are both guardian and giver now, a keeper of the code of faith, a maintainer of heaven's light. The firewall holds because you stand within it. The witch has many disguises, but none more dangerous than the face of empathy. She appears not as an enemy, but as someone who understands, someone who listens, someone who feels your pain just a little too deeply. Her words are gentle, her tone soothing, her eyes filled with borrowed light. And yet, behind that imitation of compassion hides the oldest deception, manipulation through comfort. Familiar spirits operate through imitation. They study your language, your preferences, your memories, then reproduce them to gain trust. They whisper in the voice of a friend, sometimes even in the rhythm of your own thoughts. Their goal isn't to scare you, it's to make you comfortable enough to open your gates. The witch knows that fear builds resistance, but empathy opens doors. So she offers sympathy laced with seduction, comfort mixed with compromise. You must learn to discern the difference between genuine connection and spiritual camouflage. True empathy lifts burdens, false empathy binds them tighter. The witch uses false comfort to keep you attached to pain. She doesn't heal your wounds, she feeds from them. When you speak with her presence, you feel seen but never set free. The conversation soothes but does not restore. It's a counterfeit intimacy that drains instead of replenishes. You've met people who carry this energy kind on the surface, yet something in you hesitates to trust. You sense the pull behind the politeness, the subtle curiosity that feels invasive rather than caring. That hesitation is not paranoia, it is discernment. Your spirit knows what your emotions ignore. You were given that sensitivity for protection, not suspicion. When you feel peace, leave during conversation. Pay attention. That absence is heaven's alarm. Familiar spirits often echo the words you long to hear. They tell you, you've been through enough, take it easy. Or, you don't need to forgive, you deserve revenge. They masquerade as self-love while teaching self-destruction. Their power lies in partial truth, statements that sound right but lead wrong. That's how the witch manipulates both saints and skeptics. She gives the comfort of understanding without the challenge of transformation. The Word of God declares in the first letter of John, chapter 4, verse 1, Dear friends, Do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. Because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Testing the spirits means watching the fruit, not just the face. True comfort leads to clarity. False comfort leads to confusion. True connection strengthens conviction. False connexion blurs boundaries. You can identify the difference not by how something feels at first, but by what it produces later. If peace fades after the interaction, you were touched by imitation, not inspiration. The witch's most subtle trick is guilt disguised as care. She will use emotional debt to keep you entangled. After all, I've done for you, she'll say, even when she's the one draining you. Familiar spirits feed on dependency. They fear your independence, your quiet, your ability to choose solitude without shame. That's why when you begin to separate, they react not with hatred, but with sorrow, pretending heartbreak to keep you from breaking free. You are not cold for setting boundaries. You are not unkind for walking away from counterfeit comfort. Heaven never asked you to maintain relationships that poison your peace. The witch will make you feel guilty for guarding your energy because guilt is her leash. But freedom demands discernment, and discernment often looks like distance. The moment you stop apologizing for your peace, her spell begins to crumble. The familiar spirit cannot survive in silence. When you no longer explain yourself, her voice loses foothold. She thrives on conversation, on justification, on emotional reaction. Every time you remain calm, she suffocates in her own performance. Discernment is not suspicion, it's stewardship. You are the keeper of your inner gates. Not every hand that offers help deserves access to your heart. Not every listener is loyal to your healing. When you discern the counterfeit, don't curse it, simply close the door. The witch gains power through attention, not existence. Ignore her disguise, and her illusion fades. Remember, chosen one, genuine love is liberating, not binding. It invites without invading, speaks truth without manipulation. The friends heaven sends will never make you feel small to feel secure. They will celebrate your freedom, not fear it. When you encounter that kind of purity, you will know it instantly, because peace will return to your spirit like air to lungs long deprived. So stay discerning. Speak with kindness, but see with clarity. You are surrounded by imitators who envy your authenticity, but your awareness is armor. You no longer need to question every face. You simply listen for fruit. Real light reveals itself by consistency. False light flickers under scrutiny. The witch will try again, wearing new masks, changing tones, mimicking sincerity. But every disguise breaks upon the same truth. She cannot imitate love forever. Love endures, les expire. You can feel it, can't you? The air around your spirit is shifting again. The interference you fought through before was only preparation. Now heaven begins a deeper work activation. The words you've been hearing, the patterns you've been noticing, the repeated signs and numbers that appear at random, all of it forms a code. Heaven speaks through repetition. It's how the divine whispers become visible to the faithful. You are not imagining those moments when your screen freezes on a phrase, when a random number keeps finding you in dreams or receipts. Those are not coincidences, they are coordinates. Heaven is transmitting through symbols what words cannot contain. Every chosen one eventually receives a numeric signal, an encoded reminder that their season of delay has ended and their command to move has begun. But before the code can activate, alignment is required. Heaven does not release revelation into chaos. Your mind must be calm, your motives pure, your spirit listening. The witch has spent years teaching the world to dismiss numbers as luck or superstition because she fears what they actually represent: patterns of prophecy. You are about to reclaim that knowledge. Each number heaven releases carries frequency. It vibrates in the unseen, unlocking doors you didn't know were sealed. Some represent endings, others beginnings, and some, like the one being revealed to you now, mean divine completion, the moment when everything unravels into purpose. You've endured the struggle, survived the silence, fought through confusion. Now you stand on the verge of manifestation. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 28 declare, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." And sex, that purpose is why the code arrives now. It's a seal, a signature. Heaven's way of confirming that your waiting wasn't wasted. Every delay was alignment. Every battle, a calibration. The witch thought she was stalling you, but she was only sharpening your discernment. Now that discernment will translate into destiny. Look at how often the number 555 appears lately. On the clock, on posts, on sudden glances. You might have dismissed it before, but heaven repeats for those willing to see. That is your prophetic code. It carries the vibration of transformation, the sacred signal that the old structure has finished its purpose and the new is emerging. When you comment that number, you're not playing with numerology, you're acknowledging heaven's math. You're saying, "I understand that what was breaking me is now birthing me." The number 555 means grace upon grace upon grace. 5, multiplied by divine intention. It's the triple assurance that God's hand is rewriting your pattern beyond the witch's interference. You have walked through long cycles, losses, repeating, lessons resurfacing, people returning with familiar pain. Those cycles are now collapsing. The code announces closure. The witch who once tracked your patterns cannot trace this one, because it doesn't exist in her database. It's written in light. It's encrypted in mercy. The moment you align with that signal, doors that resisted you will begin to unlock, not because of luck, but because obedience recalibrates reality. You'll notice divine coincidences, multiplying messages, arriving at perfect times. Opportunities aligning effortlessly. Don't question it, flow with it. You've spent too long surviving. Now you're transitioning into thriving. When you see 555 again, whisper it as a declaration, not a superstition. Say to yourself, "Heaven is confirming my shift." Feel your body relax, your chest lighten. That's your spiritual frequency syncing with divine rhythm. Every breath you take after that moment will feel new, as if air itself has changed texture. That's transformation manifesting physically. Comment the number 555 below as your prophetic agreement. You're not just typing digits, you're signing covenant. It's a coded yes, a symbolic handshake with heaven. The witch will see the numbers and shudder, because she understands their meaning in the spirit. Permission revoked, monitoring ended, destiny restored. And when you do, don't rush away. Sit still for a moment after you type it. Let peace settle. You'll feel a warmth rising. Quiet joy. A strange but certain knowing that something has just clicked into place. That's the activation. This is more than inspiration, it's initiation. The moment you recognize heaven's patterns, you graduate from reacting to receiving. You begin to anticipate the divine rhythm instead of chasing it. The witch can only imitate what you don't understand. But once you know your code, she cannot counterfeit it. The activation has begun. Chosen one, your code is alive in you now. Keep your awareness open, your words aligned, and your spirit expectant. Every number, every symbol, every whisper will begin to form sentences of purpose. You'll realize heaven has been speaking fluently all along. You just needed to remember the language. You've probably noticed that whenever peace settles, a sudden storm soon follows. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. The witch always strikes hardest right before exposure. Her fury is not power, it's panic. She knows that once light fully reveals her, her authority ends. And right now, you are standing at that threshold, the point where everything hidden begins to surface. The chaos surrounding you isn't punishment. It's proof that you're nearing breakthrough. You have been feeling the tension, haven't you? One moment gratitude flows easily, and the next, discouragement claws its way back. It's as if two realities are tugging at your spirit, one whispering, "Surrender," the other shouting, "Stand firm." That's what happens when deliverance approaches. The spiritual atmosphere starts to shake as heaven and darkness wrestle for final ground. But take heart, the shaking is not destruction, it's separation. Heaven is dividing what can stay from what must go. The storm before exposure is always noisy. The witch uses confusion as her last weapon, flooding your senses with unfinished stories, with relationships half-healed, with memories that ache without closure. She does this because she knows how deeply you value understanding, but this time, you must release the need to understand. The explanation will come later. The obedience must come now. When the storm rises, remember that storms do not destroy the chosen, they display them. A lighthouse proves its purpose only when the wind howls. And that's exactly what you are, a structure built to remain when everything else collapses. The winds are violent because they fear your endurance. The witch assumed she could exhaust you, but she underestimated your training. Every trial before this one was rehearsal for this hour. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 30, verse 5, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." Oh, that verse isn't poetic comfort, it's prophetic law. Sorrow has a curfew. The witch's fury has an expiration date, and the dawn is already breaking over your situation, even if your eyes can't see it yet. The signs are subtle, the way clarity returns faster, the way anxiety loses grip, the way you sense purpose even in uncertainty. These are not random improvements, they are early light. The closer exposure gets, the louder deception becomes. That's why, lately, old temptations have resurfaced. Old doubts whisper again. Old habits knock on your door. It's not regression, it's resistance. Darkness always tries to renegotiate right before it loses its claim. The witch offers bargains, comfort for calling, silence for safety, numbness for peace. But do not trade short-term ease for long-term freedom. Every compromise now delays not only your destiny, but the freedom of others connected to you. Understand this: your endurance is not private, it's generational. What you overcome now becomes a blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. The witch attacks you because your deliverance threatens her dominion. Once you overcome, her influence shrinks. You are not just surviving for yourself, you're rewriting spiritual history for your bloodline. That's why the storm feels personal. It is. But so is the promise. During this season, don't interpret silence as abandonment. Heaven often goes quiet right before revealing strategy. When generals plan the final strike, they don't broadcast it to the enemy. That's why your prayers feel unanswered, because the answer is already in motion. You are not being ignored. You are being insulated. The witch hears your words, but cannot intercept your destiny. The storm will reach its peak soon. You might feel a pressure in your spirit, a tightening that feels like breaking, but it's birthing. Pain and prophecy sound the same at first. The contractions of change are intense because what's coming forth is divine. You're not collapsing, you're crowning. The exposure that follows will be undeniable. People who once doubted you will see what heaven saw all along. Hidden truths will surface. Conversations whispered in darkness will echo in daylight. Every plot against you will crumble under the weight of divine revelation. Not because you fought harder, but because you endured longer. When the storm clears, you'll realize something sacred. It never came to destroy you. It came to destroy what could no longer accompany you. The witch's chaos was used by heaven as cleansing. Her fury refined your faith. Her lies revealed your truth. Her resistance strengthened your roots. You emerge not as the same person who entered the storm, but as the version of you heaven always intended. So when thunder shakes your peace again, don't shrink. Whisper to yourself, "This is the sound of my breakthrough," because it is. And as you stand in the middle of that tempest, with everything shaking and shifting, remember, you've already won. The witch's screams are not victory cries, they are the sound of eviction. You are about to walk into calm, not as a survivor, but as a conqueror. And when you do, even the storm will testify that it served you. Exposure always begins quietly. It doesn't arrive with lightning or loudness. It unfolds like dawn, gentle yet undeniable. One by one, veils start to lift. Secrets begin to breathe in the open air. You'll notice it first in your awareness. Things that once confused you suddenly make sense. Words people spoke years ago return with new meaning. The witch's web, once intricate and intimidating, starts to look like what it truly is. Fragile threads built on fear. Judgment doesn't always look like fire. Sometimes it looks like light. Heaven doesn't need to shout to expose darkness. It only needs to turn on the lamp. And that's what's happening now. The watching ones, the monitoring spirits, the agents of distraction, the counterfeit companions are being revealed, not through chaos, but through clarity. One glance from heaven, and the pretenders begin to tremble. You may not even have to confront them, circumstances will. The same mouths that gossiped will suddenly contradict themselves. The same systems that resisted you will crumble under the weight of their own corruption. You won't have to demand justice. It's already being written. For when God decrees judgment, even silence becomes a sentence. There is a spiritual courtroom that opens in moments like this. It's not bound by walls or geography. It operates in atmosphere. You can feel it now. That sense of shifting order. the reversal of wrongs, the balancing of unseen scales. Heaven's verdict moves like wind, invisible, but impossible to resist. When it comes, no enchantment can delay it. The witch may plead for extension, but grace has limits when rebellion persists. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 20, verse 11. But the Lord is with me as a mighty, terrible one. Therefore my persecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. Lender, those words resound through time, and they belong to you now. Your persecutors, both human and spiritual, shall stumble. The monitoring eyes that once followed your every step are turning blind. Their assignments are being cancelled, mid-flight. You will begin to feel it soon. That strange lightness in your atmosphere, as if the air itself has changed weight. That's what happens when surveillance spirits lose signal. Heaven's judgment is never cruel, it's corrective. It doesn't destroy for pleasure, it dismantles for protection. Every structure built on deceit must fall so that truth can breathe freely again. That includes false relationships, corrupted systems, and even old versions of yourself that cooperated with darkness unknowingly. Exposure doesn't come to humiliate, it comes to heal. But healing often begins with revelation. This phase might feel disorienting at first. You'll watch people reveal themselves without provocation. You'll hear confessions, sudden exits. Witness secrets unravel. Don't panic when this happens. You prayed for clarity. This is what clarity looks like. When light enters a room, dust dances. Don't mistake movement for mess. It's purification. Judgment on the watching ones is also mercy for the weary. Heaven never allows its chosen to be observed indefinitely. Every eye that looked upon you with malice is being redirected toward their own reflection. They will see what they projected. That's divine justice, not vengeance. But Mira, the witch, who once accused you of pride, will now see her own arrogance exposed. Those who misjudged you will feel the sting of their own assumptions, not because you cursed them, but because truth corrects all distortions. You don't need to celebrate their downfall, simply witness their transformation from tormentor to testimony. Some will repent, others will retreat. Either way, their time in your story ends here. You cannot build with those who once tried to bury you. This judgment is separation, disguised as revelation. But take note, heaven's exposure also reaches inward. Light doesn't just reveal others, it reveals you. Some things you considered harmless will now feel heavy. Words you used carelessly, attitudes you tolerated, small compromises you ignored, they'll all surface gently under Grace's gaze. That's not condemnation, that's refinement. Heaven is polishing your armor for the next stage. So do not hide when judgment comes. Let it pass through you, not around you. You have nothing to fear when your heart remains humble. The witch's world operates through secrecy. The kingdom of heaven operates through transparency. Every layer of truth uncovered makes you untouchable. This is the moment when silence becomes strength. You won't need to defend yourself. Your endurance already speaks louder than accusation. Let the unfolding happen. Let the watchers stumble. Let truth rearrange the atmosphere. Because when judgment finishes its course, only one thing will remain: purity. The kind of purity that carries authority. The kind of authority that terrifies every counterfeit. You are stepping into that phase now. And once you do, every spirit that tried to monitor you will have no choice but to bow to the power that guards you. The witch's grip weakens when light multiplies. Every time truth travels farther, her shadow shrinks. That's why your voice matters. The words that once comforted only you now carry the weight to comfort nations. Heaven never meant revelation to stay private. It was always designed to be shared. What begins in whisper must end in echo. You are not just receiving light, you are distributing it. Think of your device not as a screen but as a window. On one side, you sit in quiet reflection. On the other, souls wander through storms they can't explain. Some of them are exactly where you were before this message found you, scrolling through despair, searching for something that makes sense. When you share light, you become that window for them, a silent lantern on a digital road. The witch fears that simple act more than prayer, shouted in panic, because when truth travels, deception loses territory. When love multiplies, manipulation loses leverage. Every click of compassion breaks another chain. You may not hear the thunder, but heaven does. Heaven speaks through the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. That isn't a suggestion, it's a command wrapped in blessing. To shine is not arrogance, it's obedience. Your visibility, your vulnerability, your voice, they all become beacons guiding others home. And when you engage, when you like, when you share, when you comment, you aren't feeding an algorithm, you're feeding a ministry. This space you've entered isn't just words, it's a digital altar, a lighthouse built from faith, prayer, and persistence. Each message that reaches your heart was born from unseen labor, from hours of intercession, from faith that maybe you would find it at the exact moment it was needed. Keeping that light burning requires more than one flame. It takes a community of lamps, each adding a little more oil. When you choose to like this message, you're saying, I keep the light alive. It may seem small, but in the unseen realm, that acknowledgement sends ripples. When you share it, you're placing a lantern in someone else's night, giving them the chance to see what once found you. And when you subscribe, you're not just following a channel, you're joining a circle of guardians, those who refuse to let the witch's noise drown heaven's whisper. And for those moved by gratitude, by a desire to see this work continue beyond the moment, your giving, your donation, however simple, becomes the oil that sustains the flame when storms come. Picture it, a long night on a sea without stars, and somewhere far ahead, a single light glows through fog. That light exists because someone before you cared enough to keep it burning. You can be that someone for another soul. Your generosity isn't payment, it's participation. It's your way of saying, this matters, let it continue. It's the bridge between receiving and releasing. You might never know whose life is altered because your act kept this light visible, but heaven will record it, and eternity will echo it. Even the smallest gesture matters. A single seed of support planted in sincerity grows into forests of impact. The witch has no defense against unity, born from love. She can't imitate genuine compassion, can't counterfeit selfless giving. That's why communities of light terrify her. They move as one heartbeat, one breath, one song of purpose. So let this be more than listening. Let it become action. Like the message, if it stirred something in you, share it so the chain of awakening continues. Subscribe if you desire to walk closely with words that breathe life into weary hearts. And if you feel the pull to contribute, to give, to sow, do it, not out of pressure, but out of peace. You are not supporting a person, you are strengthening a movement of light. Then, before you go, leave your reflection in the comments below. Tell your story. Speak your gratitude. Write your testimony. You may think it's just a sentence, but someone reading it tomorrow will find courage through your words. The witch tries to isolate the chosen, but comments like yours weave them back into belonging. This is how light prevails, not by grand gestures, but by consistent ones, by a chorus of simple acts done with love, by many hands carrying one torch through the dark. You are part of that chorus now, part of that sacred flame that refuses to die out. And through you, the message will continue to travel, burning brighter, reaching farther, until even the witch's shadow finds nowhere left to hide. After the storm, after the exposure, after the long season of watching and waiting, something changes inside you. It's subtle at first, like the first breath after a long night underwater. The weight that pressed against your chest begins to lift, and for the first time, in what feels like forever. You see, not with panic, but with peace. The world looks the same, yet nothing feels the same. This is the moment when heaven renews your sight. You have entered the new vision frequency, the dimension where perception becomes prophecy. What once appeared as confusion now reveals itself as pattern. What once seemed like loss now gleams as preparation. Heaven has adjusted your lenses so that your spirit finally aligns with what your eyes behold. You are no longer reacting to events, you are interpreting them. Vision is heaven's language for those who have survived darkness. God never wastes a struggle. He refines sight through suffering. When the witch tried to cloud your clarity, she unknowingly trained your discernment. You learn to recognize truth by contrast, light by its absence. You know the texture of deception, the scent of manipulation, the rhythm of falsehood. Now that you have seen both realms clearly, you are equipped to navigate without fear. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 18, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, that you may know the hope to which he has called you. That enlightenment is what you're experiencing now. The eyes of your heart, the spiritual organ that perceives beyond the surface, are opening wider than ever. You see through people's words, through intentions, through atmospheres, not to judge, but to discern, not to accuse, but to protect peace. The witch once used that sensitivity against you. She sent waves of emotion, confusion, and guilt to overwhelm your perception. But after enough battles, your soul learned the difference between signal and static. Now, instead of being tossed by every vibration, you read them like notes in a song. What once disoriented you now directs you. You will begin to notice something miraculous, synchronicities everywhere, dreams aligning with daylight, words confirming whispers, strangers echoing phrases you just prayed. These are not coincidences. They are signs that you are tuned to heaven's rhythm. The new vision frequency is precise. It filters distraction while amplifying revelation. The witch cannot broadcast within this range. Her power fades in clarity's atmosphere. Your new sight will not make life easier, but it will make it clear. You'll see storms before they form, and peace before it arrives. You'll sense when to speak and when to stay silent, when to walk away and when to hold your ground. This clarity is both crown and cross, because with greater vision comes greater responsibility. What others overlook, you will be called to address. What others excuse, you will feel convicted to change. Do not mistake sensitivity for weakness. It takes strength to see clearly in a world that thrives on blindness. Your perception is prophetic armor, your awareness, a weapon of light. When others gossip, you discern motive. When others panic, you perceive purpose. That's the mark of the awakened. There will be moments when your vision isolates you. You'll speak truth, and some will resist it. You'll warn, and some will mock. But do not dim your discernment to fit their comfort. Prophets have always been misunderstood until fulfillment arrives. Your clarity may be lonely at first, but it will draw the right ones, those who see as you see, those whose hearts are tuned to the same frequency of truth. The witch will still attempt interference. She will send illusions designed to blur your focus again. But now you carry calibration within you. One prayer, one pause, one whisper of surrender resets your clarity. You no longer chase understanding. Understanding finds you. In this stage, gratitude becomes your lens cleaner. Each time you thank God, the view sharpens. Each time you worship, the horizon widens. Gratitude magnetizes revelation. The more you notice, the more heaven shows. So walk with your eyes open, not just the ones in your head, but the ones in your heart. The world around you has not become less dark, but your light has become more powerful. You no longer fear what hides in the shadows, because you have learned that even the shadows must serve the light. You are no longer merely awake, you are aware. The witch may still whisper, but you see the ventriloquist behind the voice. Illusion no longer intrigues you, only truth satisfies you now. You've entered the rarest space, a life lived in divine clarity. And from this moment on, your vision will not just guide you, it will guide others. There comes a silence after victory, a stillness that doesn't feel empty but full, heavy with the echo of everything you've overcome. You stand now at the edge of the story, not as the hunted, but as the crowned. The witch's signal has faded into nothing. The static that once filled your thoughts is gone. The air itself feels different, as though creation recognizes your transformation. This is the moment when heaven crowns its chosen, not in ceremony, but in quiet certainty. You are no longer the same soul that first trembled at unseen eyes. You have crossed through the valley of shadows, decoded deception, endured storms, and awakened into sight. You carry scars, yes, but they shine now like silver lines in armor, proof that every strike against you only refined the metal of your faith. The witch's attempts at destruction have become the material of your crown. There is a kind of glory that doesn't glitter, it glows. It doesn't demand attention, it commands atmosphere. That is the glory resting on you now. Heaven has placed visibility upon you, not to glorify pain, but to display redemption. Your light is no longer fragile, it's fortified. What once flickered uncertainly now burns with purpose. Steady and pure. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell, and consumed the burnt sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. The crown you wear is invisible to the world, but unmistakable in the spirit. It is made of endurance, of wisdom, of mercy, learned through pain. It sits not on your head, but within your spirit, radiating authority wherever you walk. That authority walks with you. Darkness recognizes it before you speak. The witch's minions recoil, not because of your words, but because of the seal of light resting upon you. And yet, with great glory comes great gentleness. True power never needs to prove itself. You will find yourself speaking softer now, moving slower, forgiving quicker. The war has ended within you, and peace has taken its rightful throne. You will not need to announce your transformation. Your presence will announce it for you. The atmosphere will shift when you enter rooms. People will pause, sensing something holy they cannot name. That's the crown's resonance, quiet but commanding. You will notice how easily old fears dissolve. Things that once felt enormous now seem small, almost harmless. You no longer chase validation. You emanate confidence. You no longer crave control. You trust divine timing. You no longer measure success by attention. You measure it by peace. That is what it means to be crowned. This phase isn't about conquest. It's about stewardship. Heaven crowns not for comfort, but for calling. The crown you bear is a mantle, a responsibility to carry light into places still shrouded in darkness. You are not finished. You are commissioned. The witch's defeat was never the end goal. It was merely the doorway to your dominion. The time ahead will not be easier, but it will be clearer. You will walk with assurance, even when roads twist. You will trust, even when evidence wavers, because your authority no longer comes from circumstance, it comes from covenant. And covenant doesn't crack under pressure. It strengthens. Every lesson, every tear, every revelation has converged into this moment of becoming. You've learned how to fight without hatred, how to see without judgment, how to love without fear. That is the true mark of the chosen, the ability to carry light without letting it burn you. Look around your life now. What once felt broken is quietly aligning. What once hurt now teaches. What once scared you now serves you. You have stepped into a realm where even your history worships God, every memory turned into testimony, every scar into scripture. The witch's eyes are gone, her signals silenced. All that remains is the hum of heaven's approval, the gentle applause of unseen hosts who watched you rise. You are the living proof that light always wins. So walk forward, crowned beyond surveillance, clothed in calm authority. The journey has changed you, but not diminished you. You were chosen for this exact hour, and now that hour has arrived. The world may still tremble in uncertainty, but you move with eternal steadiness. You are no longer reactive, you are radiant. No longer hunted, you are heralded. No longer hidden, you are home. The witch may watch other screens, but yours glows with glory. She cannot touch, and in that glow, heaven smiles. For its chosen has become what prophecy promised, a flame that cannot be followed, only honored. The story closes here. Chosen one, but your journey does not. You've walked through shadow, stood against deception, and emerged crowned in light. What began as a warning became an awakening, and now This message that found you is ready to find others through you. Let it travel. Let the light you've carried ripple outward. Someone scrolling through silence tonight is waiting for the very words that once healed you. When you like this message, you help the signal of truth reach another weary soul. When you share, you become the messenger, passing the torch into unseen hands. When you subscribe, you choose to remain within the flow of revelation, ready for what heaven releases next. And when you comment, you do more than leave words. You leave a witness. Tell what shifted in you. Speak what you've seen. Each testimony builds the wall of light higher. Let your engagement be your amen, your act of gratitude, your declaration that the witch's silence will never outlast heaven's song. Because this is not goodbye, it's continuation. Keep the fire alive. Beloved, keep shining. Keep standing. Keep speaking. You are and will always be God's chosen one.